Manav Rachna presents New Age Parenting.
Welcome back to Soul Searching. Today we are talking about the challenges of a single parent. Can you tell me the challenges of a single parent which you are able to see, the way you see your mother struggling now?
The biggest problem is to give time to their children and work and to manage the house at the same time. She's not a superhero. She cannot do everything at the same time.
Do you share your pain and your frustration? Do you talk about your father with her?
She's already in stress and giving her another burden that my child is not really coping up with everyone. That will make her very much stressed. So I don't want her to get into that. So I don't discuss it with her, and I talk to my father on Skype so that I am also relaxed and she's also relaxed.
That's a very nice sentiment, very nice way. Mr. Munish, how about you? It is not the loss of just your children's mother, it's your companion, your soulmate. How about your own pains? Do you share it with your children at times, or you again remain confined to yourself?
Honestly, it's basically confined to myself only, and that's where it is.
How about your children? Do they talk about their mother? You know, like what they miss about her, those times and things?
You know, I have always encouraged my children to talk about her, and in fact, I also talk about her, not in any sense of a regret or any sense of a sadness, but as a sense of happiness and pride. It doesn't matter, you know, if somebody has passed away, but the memories are always of happiness, and we talk about it, and my children are able to recall things, and we are also able to talk, you know, we went here and there, and this is what we did. And so there is so much of happiness in that. So why should we attach any type of sadness or negativity about it? Doesn't make any sense at all. Yes.
That's a very beautiful way of actually covering up the loss. And Mr. Munish, Tanishk, thank you so much. You know, even if these situations are there, we have the power to convert them for our own benefit. And I actually thank you for opening up. Thank you so much. Anything which is based on the solid grounds and is the basic unit of the society, like family, when it disintegrates, it creates chaos and confusion. It also creates pain, hurt, fear, insecurity, and hence the scars remain forever. So it needs to be healed. Maybe not immediately, because immediately the action is required to bring back the cohesiveness, the togetherness. But ultimately, healing has to happen, otherwise the damage will be there for the being, for the life. We understand spirituality has the power to heal and also has answers to all our questions. So let's move over to spiritual significance.
Whenever two souls decide to call another soul to be a part of their lifelong journey, forces of the universe help in the creation and witness the journey. The responsibility of both the parents, the mother and the father, remains to provide and nurture the new being. It's a promise made by them at the subconscious level to help the child in his journey, and universal forces are a witness. But if one parent chooses to move on, or it's with the consent of both parents, it's the break of a pure and solemn promise. It's a karma which has its own consequences. But for the family members left behind, it's a crisis which needs to be handled with a lot of peace and compassion. Healing of all the parties, especially the children, is of utmost importance.
When we are in darkness, we are actually looking for answers and we keep on searching for them. But the moment the light is on, we understand the reality, and that is the spiritual knowledge. The moment the light of spiritual knowledge is on, when we can see clearly what is the truth and what can be a myth, we are able to find our answers. In our Mapping the Conflict segment, we try to do just that. There are conflicts, there are confusions because we have different perspectives. We see it in a different way. But if we have a bird's view, if we are able to see it in a different context, we are able to see the answers. The time now for mapping the conflicts.
Parents' view. I feel betrayed, angry, and frustrated to be left alone with the responsibility of my kids, but I'll do everything to take care of them.
Child's view. I feel hurt, angry, and lonely, but I love both my parents. I don't want to take sides. I feel very insecure that my parent living with me might also leave.
Solution. Holding on to negative emotions are like holding on to a burning coal. It will only burn our hands. Accepting the situation and reinforcing the remaining members to come together will heal everyone.
Parents' view. As a single parent, there's suddenly too much responsibility on my shoulders. Sometimes I feel ill-equipped to handle all the roles, but I can't discuss with my kids. They are too young.
Child's view. I can see my parents struggling with all the responsibility he or she has to take, and I feel very sad. I try to help whatever I can, but that's not enough, and they think I'm too young.
Solution. Changes in the family structure matures a child very fast. Having an open discussion with the child and redefining the roles and responsibilities will not only make the parent's life easy, but will also give a boost to child's self-esteem and create a feeling of togetherness.
Parents' view. I feel the loss of companion. Hurt and pain are so deep that I can't discuss it with anyone, especially with my children. It'll hurt them more.
Child's view. I remember my other parent a lot but cannot talk about it with my parent living with me because it will stress him or her more.
Solution. Loss has been mutual. By keeping it in and compartmentalizing it will not heal the wound. If you open up about your loneliness, the child will also talk, and mutual love and understanding will fasten up the healing process. Let me assure you, this is your platform and we are getting a lot of calls. Amazing thing is that a lot of kids are getting in touch with us, and of course parents, because this is a parenting show. Thank you so much for all your love. Time now for an email, and this is Anima from Vasant Kunj. She says there's a constant tussle between my 15-year-old son and 13-year-old daughter in our house. We live in a traditional joint family, and somehow the preferential treatment towards my son is clearly evident. I, being an IT professional, don't agree with their outlook, but still the ill treatment towards my daughter continues. And yesterday I came back home, I found that my daughter was crying because her dadi had slapped her for some petty reason. My husband has exports business and is seldom home. I think I need to take some action, but don't know what to do. Please help. Nima, you'll have to understand that the action has to be taken, but it doesn't have to be always that you have to just move out or, be angry about it. First action has to be understanding and accepting the situation. Yes, there is a situation, and you'll also have to understand that if your in-laws are giving preference to the male child, it is their outlook. They have been brought up like this. They might not be able to change, but if you give them some suggestions, if you have an open chat with them, it might help. On the other hand, the first thing you need to do is have an open chat with both your children. They are your kids. You will have to talk to them. They will understand if you'll trust them, if you'll respect them. Create respect for both the beings. You also don't have to prefer either your daughter or your son, because both are there. Both have to create a sibling relationship, because unless or until that respect is there, there will be no dialogue. On the other hand, after this dialogue, create a good, beautiful, respectful relationship between both the siblings, then move over to your in-laws. You don't have to bring in your husband, because if he doesn't have time, you can actually solve it, because you yourself are empowered being. You have talked to us, it means you already are thinking about doing things. Rather than taking the action, have an open chat with them and tell them the situations are changing and girl child has the potential to be another very beautiful human being. Girl child also needs to be nurtured. Once you'll make them understand, and I am 100% sure there will be, once there is an open dialogue, there is a change which can happen. And if you see that there is no action, no change is happening, then you'll have to take the second step of maybe moving out, because violence towards anyone is not acceptable. This is your platform, so once again we invite you. If you are going through any situation, we'll only say that answers lies within. We can be there to discuss. Otherwise, action has to be taken, things have to be thought within us. Time now to take your leave, but before that, we'll say enjoy parenting. This September, New Age Parenting Workshops coming to Bangalore. For registrations, call 971-871-9806 or email us at info@newageparenting.net.
Manav Rachna presents New Age Parenting.